rolling. Uh-oh.
What?
Color is weird. Yeah, no. I think the cable could be a little loose.
That's because we're audio people. You get your teapot.
Okay.
HDMI cable.
Oh, it's actually a VGA.
Oh.
Okay, that's weird. The color is really weird. Okay.
Plug back.
Okay, yeah, I think now kind of better.
Oh, it's still green.
Still greenish, right?
It's not better, JD. It's green.
Sorry. Hello, I am not eyes and ears.
There it is.
I am only ears.
Okay.
There you go.
There it is. That was not okay, JD.
See, so I need someone with a visual, with the proper visual acuity to tell me all these things. All right, so if you want to do headphones, then you can pop it on. If you're not, you also okay. To give you a bit of the ASMR feel.
Let's do headphones.
Let's do headphones. Barulah professional kan?
Because I don't do headphones at my place.
Professional podcaster kan?
I only use headphones when I'm recording people, not recording myself.
Yeah.
Wow, hello,
welcome back. Yeah. It's always weird. Do you hear distortion on my voice? Like a little bit of
I think there's noise without even talking.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's noise.
It's always on my side. I don't know exactly what it is, but it doesn't show up on the recording. Some
could be
on the way
this,
back. But it kind of disappears after a while.
Oh, because I know this series, they had issues after a while. I had the monitor control thing. After a while, it just started coloring too much. So I stopped using it. Like, you just...
for your monitor controller to color it.
It was like this doesn't sound right. Then went direct, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'll put it aside. Don't put no way this. There's the distortion. Yeah, I just think it's this unit. Whatever lah.
Okay, it could be lah, because it doesn't show up the recording, and then it's annoying, but I can just put it out of my mind lah.
You got used to it already.
Got used to it already lah. Okay, double checking. That's rolling. This is rolling. I know this is rolling when the picture is moving.
That's how it works.
Yeah, man. I mean, if I don't have an assistant, which sometimes is it, or I don't have intern to monitor over there. Yeah, I've been bitten in the ass before. Okay, when I don't monitor properly, it's like, hey, tak record ah. Mampus. So at least gotta make sure this is running.
Oh, mine was suddenly the battery and my cameras all started dying. It's supposed to be 45 minutes. It's only 15 minutes in. Why are you blinking? Like, no.
Okay, it's supposed to be fully charged or what?
It was. It just started dying off. Suddenly the next podcast, it was okay. It was just that particular episode.
Man, those are nightmares, man. Yeah.
Man, went from live bands to podcasts.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's something you can, talk about, share about what's been the latest update, man, Mr. Chris Pereira. Welcome back, by the way. Technically,
hey, good lah. I mean, this is the actual physical one.
This is a real thing, not the virtual.
Virtual
online
one we
thing.
did. I was his first guest way back in 2 years ago.
2020, bro. The MCO, man.
Hey, that was 4 years ago.
I think it's MCO lah.
I know it was. We were opening up. KL wasn't opening up yet.
Yeah.
So wow.
Correct. I remember you were in this cafe. It was like, why is there Coffee Bean open in Sabah and KK? Sabah, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and KL, we're here all.
I remember that.
It's so infuriating, frustrating.
Even this one was a last minute thing. So thanks for accommodating. Thanks for telling me to come.
Welcome back, man. I gotta get you the opportunity, to grab you to come over here. Finally, you gotta do it.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was gone. I've been away for that long.
Yeah.
Tak rasa, man. 4 years. So what has happened in that 4 years? I closed down a studio, joined another company that had a studio, shut down that studio. Like once a year, bro. It happened two studios in one studio a year.
Okay.
So in 2 years shut down, and then opened up my own one, smaller facility. And we're kind of taking over more of the space. So 2025 should be interesting.
Very cool. Yeah. So what's the new your new outfit called? It's still Eyes and
Eyes
Ears.
and Ears. I don't have a name for the studio. Just putting it Eyes and Ears.
Yeah.
So it's more of a one-room design. The living room space, it's like an office, like your live room.
Yeah.
Except with the live room, we're gonna do more 2 sections for podcasts, and I'm gonna have one wall for photo shoots.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm still gonna do like eyes and ears, Chris can shoot.
Yes.
All in one thing.
All right, man.
Yeah. So at least now I don't have everything in the small rooms. I got space in my room
Right.
to move things around, get it more comfortable.
And it's still going to be a flexible, multi-purpose kind of a space lah.
Opening it up to other musicians to, if they want to do their sessions, so they can use the studio as well. So John James came in, Joshua came in, and it's weird though. Closing up December, right? Suddenly I have 2 bands who are interested to do EPs and wanted to do recording. I'm like, okay, let's do this.
All right.
We'll figure out the drums later, but yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's coming up for next year lah.
Yeah, that's coming up. 2 EPs.
That's cool, man.
I'm producing a rapper called Grizzly, doing his EP. We have the beats all selected. So I did all the beats and everything. I'm going to do the recording, mixing, mastering, all that stuff. He's going to write the lyrics and rap. So him and another guy called Sense. So it'll be 5 songs each. And collectively, both of them will have another 5 songs. So three projects with them.
All right, yeah.
And my singer, Steve Lumbasi, we're supposed to put out this EP. 8 songs. I don't know what 8 songs is anymore. Is this an album, an EP? I consider it an EP though.
No, an 8 should be an album lah.
Really?
It's an album already. But then considering the length of songs nowadays...
Yo, I didn't realize songs like 1 minute 40 seconds considered a song. I'm like,
Yeah. Well, 8 still qualifies as an album lah.
Oh, okay, so putting out an album next year. We kind of forgot because he was joining this online competition in Sabah. So we looked at it. I'm like, hey, you already have 5 singles out with video clips. So we have 3 more to finish. So let's wrap up 1 more with the video clip. The other 2, let's save the budget for marketing and stuff. And hopefully wrap it up by first quarter or second quarter and put it out lah.
Put it out as an album lah.
Album, do press conference and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which I haven't done in a while. How was your press conference?
Oh, okay. Oh, swinging it back to me, yeah?
Yes. Podcast asking the podcaster.
I mean, oh, please, it's 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 basketball. Let's toss the ball back and forth. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's an album that was a long time in the making already, because it was material that was unfinished. It was material that was unworked on, obviously for many reasons, right? Including but not just restricted to of course the loss of our friend Jamir, of our mutual friend, that had a huge impact, obviously, right? And there was just no momentum going forward to try to pull back and to recover and come back from that. But then as time goes on, there's stuff that's we felt that it's the right time to just move on, revisit some of this stuff, and we also got funding. So it's like,
now can push it past the finish line.
We applied for DKD for the DKD, right? Okay, right. So it's like, hey, we got it,
Now we have to finish the album.
There's the secret.
But the songs have been around for what? A good solid 4, 5? Some older.
Dude, some are older. Some are like from the Project ER second album 2017. That's how long some of the songs are. Some of it's from that era.
2017 was the second album. The one that took photos of, was that?
Yeah, because we never put it out. We were supposed supposed to kick off the promotion in 2020. 2019, we did the showcase. We at the B. We went to Philippines and all that. So 2020 was something that was lined up. We had like festivals and stuff like that lined up already. And all that. So I think what we salvaged from that was we took some of the songs and just released them as singles, because we did Destination Nowhere was a single, One by One was a single, then there was one more track that was also a single as well. So we decided to put those out as singles instead of an album lah. But then in the end we decided to, hey, we still have some of these unfinished songs. Let's finish reworking it. I remixed some of the stuff. It was a little bit of remixing lah. To
keep up with the trends.
Yeah. No, it's like okay, right. because some of the tracks, actually most of the tracks actually were actually sent over to, gosh, I can't really remember. It was for Ray Toro's engineer or whoever that he work with lah.
To add on stuff, is it?
Yeah, to add on stuff. Because we sent it over. Ray was the last person, you see. So we decided that, hey, all the mixing, mastering side, let him take care of lah. But there were still one or couple of songs which like, okay, that's not really, we weren't really happy with the way the balances are, the treatment is, especially when it comes to the rap vocals and stuff like that, so maybe, they're not so familiar with working with the hip-hop side of things, so
it didn't match so well.
So it didn't, so there were a couple of tracks that we redid lah, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Remix lah, it's not that I redid and not re-recorded or anything.
Okay, you
so,
remixed it.
Yeah,
okay.
Wrote a couple of new tunes and all that, wrote the song with the Gila Kuasa one.
Oh yeah.
Which
I actually haven't watched the video clip yet.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Go watch it now.
Yes.
Go
Link
watch it
below
now.
here.
You know the deal, right? Yeah. Video card up there.
Was that okay? The Gila Kuasa wasn't part of the original batches of songs, right? Was it?
No, it wasn't. It was a one-off thing that we wrote with during MCO lah.
Oh.
Yeah, context for that I cannot discuss on this podcast.
We'll talk after this.
We'll talk. You want juicy one? Subscribe to my Patreon. or subscribe to my membership below for the exclusive juicy details.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, can you talk about the Awas song?
Oh yeah, that one, of course,
How did that come about?
Interviewing people. It's so funny how the tables have turned. Yeah. No, that one is the album was also kind of tied with our 24th anniversary lah.
Oh.
Or something like that lah. Because actually 2025 would be our 25th anniversary lah.
Oh, you guys started 2000 eh?
2000.
That was the
yes.
Jump came out.
End of 2000, but Jump actually came out January, early 2001.
Oh, but considered 2000
considered lah,
Yeah.
So we put that out. So we thought that, hey, we started our career with a cover, a cover or an act that we really like, Crisscross, it was like, okay, it's really cool to cover this song. And say, hey, what we do it's time, let's do another cover of maybe a seminal and iconic hip-hop track or something like that. And the idea of, hey, why don't we do a local one instead? And so it's like, let's do ours.
Who made the decision to end up using ours? Was it like a pool of songs or like?
No, it was just, hey, why don't we do a cover, to cukup the quota lah.
Because of the DKD.
Because it's like, hey, if instead of writing new songs, like, why don't we try and do one cover so we have. But in the end, you do a cover, so you still have to write the
verses, yeah.
Yeah, the verse and all that was actually, so that was one of the reasons. But I think unanimously on the spot, we just agreed in the WhatsApp group and said, this would be cool to do. Yes. I can vision, how it's going to sound like.
I think that was a good cover to do. I wouldn't have guessed it.
Exactly, And that is like with heavy metal, the shit out of the track.
I actually I had a disclaimer, I think 2 years ago, a year ago. 2 years ago, had a sneak peek of it.
Mm-hmm. Did you?
Not from you. Farid was doing his verses. He was writing the verses, I think. And he played it. I'm like, wait, what is this?
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Interesting.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't sure if it was going to be okay or not because he was writing and he wasn't sure if you guys were happy with the verses at that time.
Right. No.
Oh yeah.
That also, this whole album also was, a different way of approaching the whole songwriting thing. We were not so precious about the songwriting in a sense that, it's like, oh, it's got to be me, we who write it. It's like this time around, we was very open to, hey, why don't we get different people to come and contribute different ideas to add different sounds and all that. Hence, there were also the 2 other versions of Bahaya.
I was
to fill up the quota lah.
so humble to fill up the quota. But I was quite surprised by that reinterpretation of it though. Like it was a very different
Yeah.
and updated take.
Yeah. Talking about the Sona one.
Sona
right?
one.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, shout out to Sona, you
What's
know.
up?
Yeah, you know. He'd been talking about doing this remix for years and years, you know. So sometimes he would just mention, "Hey JD, I want to do this remix again. Hey JD, I want to do this remix." And then I say, "Oh, okay. I'll just send you the sample." And I just procrastinate, and it never happened because all you actually need was just the vocals and the sample to work with Yeah.
The
So
iconic violin line.
the strings the
Yeah.
string line and whatever some of the horn parts and all that. So whatever you use. So in the end we made it happen Yeah.
Well, it was nice. It was It was not a version I initially imagined. I was actually thinking a heavier version would come out.
Yeah. Right.
So when this came out, I was like, ooh. But the visuals for it, the video clips was crazy though.
Yeah, you know, that's Dandy Dandy was directing it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he's got a great crew over there, you know.
Oh, this was done in Thailand.
Done in Bangkok, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
all done over there, yeah.
I didn't even guess it was Bangkok.
Yeah. You can let's see, right. For the same budget, similarly, you can get this done in Bangkok for that quality. You get a nice flight, you get a nice hotel, you can fly everyone there. Yeah. For the same budget as you're doing in KL.
Hi, Dandy.
Shout out, man. Yeah, he and his crew and all that, the DOPs were all fantastic.
Maybe bring Grizzly down there.
Yeah.
But all the vocals were, like with the guest features, right? Was it done in 2105 or was it
everyone recorded on their own? Yeah.
The new Bara Bahaya, did you mix that or did someone else mix it?
The
Sona, or did Sona mix it?
No, Sona mixed it. Yeah. Yeah, you know. I just like, hey, you know, when it comes to this, just let people have the free hand on what they want to do, man. Yeah.
When did you get to that phase where you were like, okay lah, I'm happy with letting anyone else?
I don't know. It's pretty much quite early on.
Oh, really?
You know, yeah. I've always been like, if there are certain areas where people want to feel like they want to give a shot at something, yeah, by all means, you know, yeah. And he has a really got a good ear for you know,
his sonics
for hip hop
are
and all
amazing.
that as well. You know,
Yeah, I like how he fills up the gaps with, but still leaves space for the vocals to fit in.
Yeah, a lot of it is with his production as well, Yeah, so I think there was nothing major, just like a little bit of few notes. That's all. You know, I just gave a few little tiny
stuff,
notes. Yeah, yeah, and then that's it. That's the finished version. Yeah. There's actually a second. There's actually two versions.
Okay, I really don't know about the second
yes,
one.
no worries. Right. So the other one, I think because we haven't really actively pushed it. That's actually it's called Mara Bahaya Underground. So that was done by Adam E, and Yoni Boy.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Okay.
You know. Okay, I'll listen to it after this. So this one is the darker, more moody version.
Is it already out or is it going to come out?
It's already out, as in part of the album, but you know, it's not something that we're pushing yet.
Man, I need to check for Spotify more.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, we have got a couple of other stuff, but you know, attention spans and all that, so there's limited things that you got to focus on.
Uno, okay, this is going back to one of the older Uno tracks. He did a track that sounded like a Run the Jewels song. I think it sampled Zach from Rage.
Okay.
That had a few.
It was Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of.
Yeah. He sampled that. Yeah. Was that ever released?
Yes, that was released.
It was.
Yep.
I vaguely remember I heard it.
That was done in because that one had Ming, that had a Nazri, Project AK, that had Moods, you had people from the guys from Massacre, Conspiracy, Trace Empre. Yeah,
I remember that version.
Yep.
There also was one with Aman Ra, was it?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah,
including
Aman's got
Dandy's guy from Thailand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dandy, I mean, oh gosh.
I forgot his name.
Sorry, man. Yeah. Tavets, yes. Yeah, he also did the Sona. He was featured on the Sona one as well,
Yeah.
Correct.
I remember. I watched the video clip.
That's the version.
Oh, that came out nice.
That came out, yeah.
Because when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this has to come out.
I know, yeah. But that came out as really as a single and really obscure thing because it's all explicit lah. super explicit, so radio cannot play it.
But that was an awesome production overall to get everybody involved in that song.
Yep.
And one thing I like about you guys or Pop Shavit stuff, it seems to age very well. Like you can hold on to the song for like almost 10 years. And then when you put it out, it's still
fortunately, I suppose.
It doesn't sound like, oh, this was 10 years ago. It still sounds current.
I don't know, I mean, at least I can speak for myself. I'm not sure about everyone else, but I think first and foremost, if you want to write songs, you want to put songs out, at least I do it for the sake of pleasing myself. I want to put out the record that I want to. It's not that I'm trying to, or at least not that we're trying to chase what's this
current
trend
sound.
or whatever, the current sound, whatever. It's like, hey, I do this, I want to put it out because I like it, I enjoy it, I love the way it sounds, And I think it came out in a recent Rick Rubin interview as well. I'm not sure whether you've seen it. It's a couple of times because when he put his book out, he did a lot of press. One of the things he says, he doesn't care about the audience.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about the audience. He makes the record, for me. I, of course, with the band or with the artist, but that record is for the artist, what the artist wants, what I want as a producer. I will put it out. If I enjoy it, if I engage with it, if I love it, right? If I really, really engage with it, it speaks to me. It will speak to people out there.
I think I do the same for my production. Like for Stevel, one single we put out this year. We held on to it for I think 3 years before we put it out because I felt the time wasn't right. Like, timing is everything.
Yeah.
Even with Grizzly and Sense, me and Grizzly have been writing songs for almost 2 years as well. But it's the same thing. Like I believe in that. Like if you feel the song, you believe in it, right?
Absolutely.
It's gonna work. It's just had to put it together properly and all that stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And I cannot do the chasing trends thing. Like no, that's not. I cannot.
Man. I know, yeah. There are times for it. Again, depending on who you work with or what sort of client you work with. Then sometimes yes,
Yeah. Yes.
Then sometimes yes. But again, even with artists I work with, I said, hey, you got to do it for
you.
You
got to do it for you.
Yeah, that record's for you. That album is you speaking. It's your voice. It's your expressions, your emotions. Don't try to copy anyone else's, what they are trying to say or what they're trying to sound like.
Because it won't be you.
Yeah, then it just comes out, inauthentic.
Yeah, that's the key word,
then,
inauthentic.
Yeah, then, it comes out fake, you're not being real, bro.
Why are you not trying to be you?
Yeah. What's all this fake shit,
Have you ever felt that way? No, okay. You with Pop Shavit, y'all bang don't do that, right? But has there been any song where you felt like, no, this is not a Pop Shavit song?
Okay, I mean, again, I probably can't say it right now. But yes, okay, there have been. But in the end, I think we always try to, as much as possible, have much more. You can always approach things in a very cynical manner, and say, this is not what I saw, or something like that, If you could say that, then Marba Haya is not essential sound. It's a totally different sounds of what we were doing before. You see, but back to that. I just don't want to be cynical. That's a quality which I feel that is no value. Doesn't bring any value to the conversation. Right. So just avoid being cynical. Try to make it. No matter how it may not be what I feel it is, then just make the best out of it. Very, very surprisingly, okay, I can actually name 2 songs from old albums, I think. Actually, I think one. I think it's from the Freak Show album, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a track that's called 1957.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
There's another track we did with Emmett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Emmett is he's actually the 6th member. People don't realize how many songs we've had Emmett on first album.
I remember that first album. I love that feature of Emmett on that first album.
Yeah. We had that. And then throughout the whole albums, how many times we got Emmett in already?
Oh, then you got it to EAR lagi.
Correct, And now when we play shows, actually, Emmett always comes along with us.
Like they said, the unofficial member.
He's the unofficial 6th member.
Speaking of 6 members, or the 5 core members, the 5 Pop Shavit members, right? How did y'all keep it together for 25 years? Wow, betul-betul interviewing you.
Betul-betul. It is a flipped interview. I think the key thing is we don't spend too much time with each other. That's it. Everyone needs their own lives. Everyone has their own things that they do, and when it comes time to come together for the band, for the music, then we can come with it with totally fresh energy and approach it with that lah. Instead of if you see again what's that word? Absence makes the heart go fonder or something like that or whatever.
So after X amount of times, yes, it's time to get back together now.
Yeah, But if you see each other every day, you get fed up with this fella, you get fed up with that person, I mean, it's the classic whatever fairy tale of a bunch of band wants to get together. Oh man, yeah, we should rent an apartment or a house. Let's all move in together.
That was the dream.
And then no, that would be a cool dream. But then you end up fighting over
petty
who
stuff,
uses or like who leaves the toilet seat up or use the who never flush or who puts the cheese in the which side of the fridge if you stay together. Or then you fight over a girlfriend or whatever. That's the thing. So I think that space is really, really useful for everyone to, because everyone's got their own interests, he's got their own things to do. So everyone's got that freedom and flexibility to explore whatever things they want. And of course, all of us do different things.
Oh, literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
But then, we get together for the music line. And then I think that benefits because with the richer circle or that we all have, of our shared experiences, both our shared experiences and our own personal
brings a lot more to the plate.
Yeah, instead of just being inside that circle, there are benefits, of course, the bonding, the camaraderie, the friendship, the brotherhood and all that is there. But there's time for it lah. There's enough time for that, right? But also we got to recognize the space.
Oh, that's very matured.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever missed a deadline for album submission?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
No. Yeah. We're quite proud to say, again, this is more second-hand info lah. My creative was very happy because we're one of the very few projects or whatever that fulfill everything in our proposal.
Wow, all the criteria.
We didn't slack on anything.
But that's very Pop Shavit though. I feel that's very Pop Shavit.
Well, obviously I think because when you have people who used to be accounts managers with IBM, you have people who used to be in Bank Negara and Astro, people are so,
Because also I think individually all of you has very high accountability careers.
Yeah.
Like, everything matters. All the tiny stuff makes a big difference.
Yeah. So, it's like, let's make this happen lah. Yeah. So we delivered everything on time lah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's next?
What's next? What's next? You should be telling me what's next for you, man. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Really, I'm looking to start trying to work out a distribution deal and a publishing deal. So it hasn't fallen through because like I said, we started a studio, closed down a studio, started a studio, closed down another studio. So now I'm just going to do it for myself, do it for eyes and ears. And the idea is still, I still kind of want to mirror what Positive Tone kind of did. Like where it's very much not as not targeting the masses, but it's more like quality talents. Kind of.
Yep.
And push that out. So that's what I'm trying to do lah. So I'm having a meeting on Monday for the distribution deal.
Right, okay.
Yeah. That's so hopefully that all falls into place. Then I can start putting everything out.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And my delayed solo stuff, which I want you to get on. One song. We've been talking about it, but yeah.
I know. I still have that folder of stuff that's on my hard disk.
To-do list.
Oh gosh. There's so many. Yeah, there are actually a bunch of stuff which are like,
So
that's cool, man. Yeah.
My own one, it'll be an instrumental album. So it'll be songs I'm really happy with instrumental wise.
Wow, okay.
And a bit of songs that I don't know what to do with, but I'm just gonna put it out as well. So I think towards next year, hopefully there'll be more output where I don't overanalyze or overcritique it, but just create it feels good and put it out. Yeah. Right. About time lah. So long already doing all this, I've never released my own stuff. About time to put it out.
Yeah. What do you think, man, of, there are certain players, like Semenanjung players who are getting into, dipping their toes, so to speak, into the Sabah.
I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Sabah scene. Has it been good? Has it been able to spur the industry?
I would say there are two visible players lah. I think one the better one did their groundwork, studied everything, came in, just observed, got to know people who was doing what and how before just doing anything. And the other one I think was just signing based on not popularity lah, but on potential X income based on output.
Yeah.
So that one I feel is it's not going anywhere lah. You have 1-2 songs, hit songs, then there's nothing. Right. And I got a chance to see the contract. Like they offered a fellow young rapper lah. So he came to the studio, looked at it. I'm like, cannot lah. This is 280s. Like the contract is 280. There was even a clause where, hopefully not outing people, but so there's one clause where the label selects the producer, but it's still the artist that pays for the producer fees.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's ridiculous. Like, this doesn't sound right. If you're going to pay, at least you get a say lah. But this one is like the label decides for everything, but you are paying for literally everything under the contract.
You're talking about all those are against any advances?
So not this one. They were not discussed yet. I was just looking at the whatever was given to him first lah.
Right,
the first draft, right?
All right.
I'm like saying nah, and then I don't think it's for you.
We will spill this tea later, off camera, off the record,
or his Patreon.
Or exclusive content.
Yes. So that was interesting lah. That it's already 2024, and the contracts are still like that. And in Sabah side, I still think contract is a weakness. There's a lot more of faith, believe in faith. Like I trust you, believe in you. So paperwork, I still think is kind of weak. Even on my side, I should have contracts out for the people I'm working with, but I don't. And to make sure on paper everybody knows who's getting what your role is, what your investment is in it, besides your time and everything. So a lot of that lah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it good?
Is it a net positive? I mean, does it spur things?
I think it's a 50-50. Could be a 50-50 thing. Where there are people who will say, why is it orang luar yang boleh buat? Kenapa bukan orang sendiri yang buat?
Yeah, that's one of the things that occurred as well. Yeah.
But I think it's because of the experience and the opportunities. Like locally, we don't have that opportunity. So it has to come from outside. Like I always say, KK is just a small town. KL City is like the industry and the hub. Like, it's like you go to the States, you got New York, LA. Yeah. So if you're from Wisconsin or whatever, it's like,
you still
have to go New York and LA.
Yeah.
So if New York
LA
and LA is
more of LA.
Oh, LA. I thought New York. LA.
New York also not really anymore for music. It's LA.
I'm so far behind. Yeah. So it's like LA coming to KK. So if you embrace it right, and if they do it carefully and they're not stepping on too many toes, but I think anything new or change that happens, people will get disgruntled or there'll be unhappy voices. But that's where change happens.
Yeah.
If not, change is not going to happen.
Agreed. 100%. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely valid, Yeah.
Could have been done better. Of course, everything could have been done better in hindsight, But what was then and there, and whatever opportunity or deadlines that they had, it worked. It happened.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, do you see, like, okay, I'm gonna take Sarawak for example. Okay. So Sarawak, I mean, they have seemed to be starting to take up a lot of slack where Semenanjung really left off, like when it comes to things like about the music industry, about the events, entertainment, because I think more and more festivals are going to happen there. I mean, on my side, also on the audio side, they're also going to do a Pro AVL Expo next year in Kuching.
Damn.
Is Sabah also, the policies? I heard that they are, more.
How do I carefully answer this?
Oh, okay, yeah. Funding, grants, and all that.
I think it's the current ministry or government's focus. Like Sabah's focus has always been tourism. So it's always been facilities for tourism. Arts has been more, in my perspective, traditional arts.
Right.
So when it's contemporary or urban or not traditional,
right,
it's like where do we put this?
Right.
Like if my understanding with Sarawak is there is a art agency. Sabah is still only lembaga kebudayaan, so it's still cultural.
Right.
So if anything that's not cultural, it's like where do we
it's like
park this?
it's like
So that's where the outsiders come in to do something, and it happens.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
That's a good assessment of no, I mean it's you have to enlighten me as to what's going on.
And with festivals and all that, the Sarawak ministry is very invested in the state.
Yeah.
So they pump money in. They see, I think there's younger blood in the ministry, so they see flight incoming, potential spending, domestic money coming in.
Yeah.
And they build the facilities around it.
Yeah.
That's one thing Sabah a bit kurang.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Any like funding, like grants and all that by state government?
No, I would say no.
Yeah, that pause already.
If there is, it's still very cultural. I feel it's very cultural, or it's more on tourism-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not so much on
like
production of your own albums or whatever.
Right. Okay.
No.
So none.
Video clips, that's why we have a lot of scenic video clips, because it's still tourism in a way. So that's why it's easier to get.
Okay, that's one avenue we can get funding is through that lah.
We are highlighting this area, this district.
I see.
So the money comes in from there.
Okay, yeah, cool. But again, that's good to know if you're an artist there. Yeah. That's that is how you can tap into the resources that are available lah.
But I would say just don't do it for the money. No. Don't paksa yourself to do it. Like if your song is a certain way and then you go to a party field that doesn't fit the song, like, please don't.
You use like some kind of gangster rap thing, but then it could work. It'll be comical.
With the sickle and everything.
It'll be comical lah.
If you make it comical, yes, go ahead. Please go ahead. We thought of doing a video clip. It's a sad romantic song lah, but we wanted to take the 80s and the 80s Sabahan video clips, very karaoke-ish, right? And do that for this video. But my video friend was like, no, it's too embarrassing. That's the whole point. Like, no, cannot. I'm like,
along with the blue color words.
Yeah, literally had the ball bouncing around. Having walking the up and down the same road. So first verse is going up, second verse is coming down. But yeah, hopefully we can still do that video clip.
I say by all means, man. Yeah,
just have fun with it.
Just do it. Yeah.
I think that's the thing with music that's hard to juggle, where you're having fun versus you're doing things to look like you're having fun. Yeah, that boils down to authenticity. But I think Pop Shavit came at a time where it allowed you guys to be authentic. Where I think the numbers worked in your favor in a way, but then you took ownership of your own music as well. For some people, I feel they had to do what other people were telling them to do. Did you guys have to fight for that?
No, absolutely not. Even when we were signed with Positive Tone and EMI, we had total artistic freedom over what we did. A bit too much. Maybe a little bit too much because...
But that was how Positive Tone was, right, in a way.
Yeah, but you see, it was a transition already when it was into... After that, they were being acquired by EMI.
I need to understand this.
Yeah.
So when the first album happened, Skaters and... Was it Skaters and...
Yeah. That first album.
That was...
Positive Tone.
But they were transitioning
But they
already.
were being acquired by EMI
it was
already.
already happening at that era.
Yeah, it was already happening. So I think we were one of the very last signings to be signed with under Positive Tone. Yeah. And after that, it was all EMI Malaysia lah.
So your contract moved on to EMI as well?
I mean, automatically lah. It's underneath, because when you acquire them,
I thought they would be like a sub-label and then it was still Positive Tone kind of.
I think they did. There was that Positive Tone sub-label thing lah. Eventually it got absorbed into the domestic department lah, because essentially that's what it is lah. Transitioning lah. So, yeah, so... Because of that, it did get to a point lah, the second album where that's the tricky thing. I think I've told you a story. Maybe it's worth telling lah. Okay?
Yes, it is.
Maybe it is worth telling lah. Okay, so the thing is that first album was out 2000, and actually by the time we got it out, it was like 2000. The singles came out 2001, but when the actual album started to come out, was actually closer to 2002, 2003 already. Because it took a while. Like the first singles like Jump, The Slip Away, those first two, Skaters Anthem, those were the singles that came out first. But then the album itself only came out like a year later. It took a while for us to finish everything, you know lah. New band, everything, slacking in songwriting. We were really slow on songwriting. We took a long break as well. Greg also actually in the middle of that, because we took so long. Okay, right, I'm also going on a holiday, a long sabbatical. I think he went on like a 6-month sabbatical to India or something like that. But it was good because it gave us time to regroup, to really start, getting our act together lah. Yeah, these young punks who don't know what they're doing.
Don't know what they think they know everything.
Yeah, exactly. Especially this ICOM student, audio engineering student, kono dia know everything, right?
Runs his own studio.
home studio lah. Kono dia lah, right? As if I knew shit back then,
But it sounded like you guys were amazing even back then. Okay, wait, second album.
So you see, back to contracts, okay, right? We know that I'm sure you know now, if the label decides, right, that they are not going to further invest in you, right, to develop you any further, maybe first album didn't do really well or something like that, based on your contract, they can tank and hold you back indefinitely.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Either by not giving you the budget for the next album, or not approving whatever the next step is lah. So it took Japan, the interest from Japan, in order for them to start perking up. Because when the Japan label came, S2S came to scout for local Malaysian acts to try to market and license in Japan. So they got Pop Shavit, they got Too Fat, they got Butterfingers lah.
Oh, I didn't know about Butterfingers.
Yes, yeah, the three. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep, the three. But we were the best selling.
I remember. You were outselling Linkin Park.
Yeah, technically it was Fort Minor Linkin Park lah.
Oh, Fort Minor is it? Okay.
Still Mike Shinoda gang lah, okay? So that's still something to brag about lah,
yes.
Okay? Yeah. But only when they actually it's more of a licensing, so that's fine. But they offered to actually take over us and buy us over.
Buy out from EMI.
Yeah. Then only they wait, no, wait. Okay, we give you a budget, you can go and do your second album.
We have a gold mine here.
Yeah, see, Yeah,
Always take someone from outside to see the value.
Yeah, so it's like, okay lah, right? We saw where this was going lah. That was also starting the decision process, rolling ready off to leave lah. But yeah, there was total freedom. Second album, we were like probably 75% done before we even had our first meeting with the A&R. When the A&R came to Synchro Sound, the studio, and then sat down with us and said, guys, I'm sorry, really, you have to update me about everything because we really don't know what's going on. Major labels of all.
But did the A&R do anything much for the band, or was the band already A&Ring your own self?
Okay, we were already A&Ring ourselves. That's the thing, But again, I think that the issue, that the trouble was, especially during that time, the early 2000s, no one had an idea how to push and promote or market us.
True.
It's like, his band is like got English, got BM, is not tapi not rock, bukan rap, but this is not they don't have any lagu jiwang to ballad to sing, these guys don't get into majalah manga or do all those kind of thing. They don't do melody and all this kind of stuff. How?
Majalah manga.
They play corporate show, big show, but also play underground gig. How? So no one knew what narrative to write lah. Yeah. So after everything else is history lah. So I don't know. That's always an interesting thing, a predicament.
So I assume the EMI contract was for 2 albums.
I think it was more than that. I think back then it was like usually 5, 4 or 5. Yeah.
So
it's usually that.
After the second, did you guys decide not to continue?
We decided the best thing was just to buy out our contract lah.
Wow, that's amazing as a band to buy out your contract.
Yep. I mean, so essentially, everything for our first 5 years, whatever money we made from that was used to buy our freedom lah.
At least you guys had the money to.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, Yeah. you know. But all good, you know. After all these years, you know, the people that were there, that were involved, we still keep in touch with. We're still super friendly with
It's a
with
small
people.
industry, yeah.
In the end, you know,
Same circle.
Yeah, in the end, the folks that I mean, the head of EMI at the time was Darren Choi.
Went
you know?
on to Universal.
Yeah, he went to Universal, and then, you know, he came for our launch. He was very supportive. You know, he came for our launch and all that. You know, we joked about the contract thing, and we all had a good laugh about it. But hey, you know, again, it's business. It's not personal, you know. No one's holding any grudges or holding any. You know, it's just happened. It was just that time, It's just like that, Circumstances were like that. You know, you see.
I think that's the hardest thing in music, where learning. It's business. Your friends in the industry are your friends, but when it's business, it's business. Your friends can only help so much, or they can only do so much, because it's still money at the end of the line.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that took a thing for me to learn as well. So here's a little info for you, trivia lah kanon.
Hey.
So before the first album your first album came out, Pop Service. I had a band in Sabah called Mozart's Ghost. So it's Jessel, Ruben, Stanley.
Yes.
A label in KK actually offered us a deal. And then when Pop Shavik came out, we're like, how? We cannot sound like them. No, because we were doing the rap rock thing and all that. So we're like, no, what? I cannot. I took it like, the timing was not right. So I felt if we came out, we would have been considered a clone of Pop Shavik. In hindsight, maybe not, but I just felt like, I cannot put this out now. Like, no.
I think you mentioned this to me before.
I did,
you mentioned briefly, but you know, okay.
Then Pop Shavik, I was like, no! No! Because we were only just starting to write our own songs when you guys already came out. So I just felt we were on the same wavelength type of sorts.
Yeah. I mean,
it could have been more the merrier though, for all I know.
I feel that way now, and especially nowadays where there's so many bands
doing
now,
the same thing,
and you know, for better or for worse, you know, having similar sounds and influences. But actually now, I think there's room for there's room for more people in this party. So jumped on.
Hindsight was 2020, so like.
Oh man, you know, it's so cool to.
It would have been fun to have the if the band took off and then we did a collab or whatever stuff.
Yeah. I think that would have been very cool. You know, if that band took off, we should. We would be super open to do collabs. You know,
but
then that would have probably created a bigger rap rock scene.
True.
See,
but there's a part of me that also felt we were not local enough in a way, because like our influences were very Western, and then we were predominantly English at that time. So in KK, English doesn't do very well even now also lah. So even like Steve-Will, I'm producing, he does things in Dusun, and attention has been good for him lah. Yeah. So the ones he did in Malay so far a bit. Right. So we're trying to see Dusun and then maybe one more Malay or English thing. Yeah. So it's interesting lah. Like I thought English would have been a big thing in KK, but somehow it never really took off so much. Yeah. That's also, I mean, it's a struggle that, honestly, we also struggle with that, you know, because we are predominantly English, right? You know, actually almost exclusively English. Then it was the pressure to do a BM thing that where did the pressure
then Ramli
come from?
Label lah, of course lah, you know. So no, but we channeled in a good way. Then we did the version with Ramli Sareb lah for that song lah, which it's quite cool to us, you know. Yeah, but unfortunately, I think for any act, you still need to do something in your local language to it, and that's why Mabai came out lah. 06, 07, there was a very clear, distinct reason to do that lah. Yeah, and during that era as well, you could say the same thing for bands like Bunkface, right? They went you take the Green Day Sum 41, Good Charlotte sound, right? Do it in BM, and then boom, that's how they're good. Before that, previously their EP was all English. They were a pure English band. Same with Hujan, you know, take that sound, do it in BM, and then boom. I think OAG translated very well to BM. Correct, yeah. Radhi did amazing with going BM. Yeah. And I like how Emmett was making fun of it in a way. But then they also ended up doing a BM album. Yeah.
And that also, I think, extended the career a bit more as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If when I talk to Jamir, rest in peace, and actually the best was Slapshot Boys lah. There was a period where they did go to try to do that English album when they were signed with the Apple the Apple's label.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's called BMX or whatever. I can't remember.
Yeah.
They for those bunch of that EP, they had Darren Malakian was producing.
Oh wow!
System of a Down, yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I think I
and
saw a
they-
video clip of him in the studio.
Yeah, and they recorded it over there.
Oh,
But somehow the English tracks they sound great, amazing because of course lah, it's American production, but it did not catch on.
oh wow!
Yeah, in the end when they came back, it was still the Tagalog stuff
That really picked up.
that really connected with their fan base lah.
Because I know
So-
when they started, they were very English.
They were English
Then
at
they
first.
slowly went.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Miss Stereo.
Correct.
That song,
yeah,
that album.
around that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was that. Then they tried to do that, the English thing with, like I said lah. Yeah, with
Apple,
Apple's label. That
Didn't
somehow then they went back to Tagalog. Yeah.
I personally, I can write in BM.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with the verses and how it sounds and everything. Well, sounds in my head lah. The moment I record, I'm still not at a point where I'm happy it's me. It just feels like I'm trying too hard to sound like me in Malay. So that's why I've never done any Malay stuff so far. Like I've written different verses, tried it, did some demos. Like okay, just nah.
Right. Yeah.
Still English, man.
I mean, again, to be honest, it's all in our liner notes anyway. Most of the BM stuff that we did early on, we got other people to write. We got Dali, we got Tukang Kata to write for Tukang Kata, wrote for Mara Bahaya.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'd never read the notes.
I mean, eventually later on, some of the stuff we start to, Moods will start to write as well, or Uno sometimes will write as well. But that's the thing, the writing is not exclusively the job of just the vocalist. Everyone will just contribute lah. And then back to that, I was circling back to that, Farid was, we really wanted to have a different voice, so to speak, for these verses because we felt that, because the song is already an old school song.
So we're not in a way iconic.
Yeah, we don't want to rap in that old style. We want to just really fuse it with a totally different flow, totally different lyrics. It was a very big challenge, and still to perform it now for Moods also is a very, very big challenge because the flow is so
different.
unlike him, But this was one way of pushing the boundaries lah.
How many versions of the Awa song did you guys do? Or was
there was only one. There was that one version.
I thought there was like demo A tak jadi, demo B tak jadi.
Okay. No, pretty much it was
Focused on that one and
yeah. But it obviously the song bit by bit lah. There was just the intro, just the verse and the chorus. Verse, pre-chorus and chorus. Chorus is obviously it's going to be that already.
Yeah.
You can't change. The pre-chorus is also going to be that. Okay, right. Yeah. The pre-chorus is that. The only the place where we really played around was the verses lah. Yeah. The bridge actually is taken from the one of the verses also. That's the original KRU rap.
Oh, that became the bridge. Okay.
Yeah, so we took the verse, turned it into the bridge.
How long did it take to finish that song?
Quite a while, because we were actually, I don't know, I think I can talk about it now lah. Yeah, we actually, before we did this, we actually did ask Norman from KRU, we did ask for their blessings whether we could do this. There's no point doing the whole thing, then suddenly come put the thing out and they say, no, cannot. No, licensing cannot. Right, so thankfully, Moods to his Mina Prima and all that, they had good connections with them. They had a good relationship, they knew. So yeah, we got the blessings to do it.
Nice.
So we were also actually contemplating, I said, hey, we actually wanted Norman to rap that.
Have a verse,
the bridge. That bridge part, which is like his part to rap it lah. He agreed. But I think we were not really aware of back then, but because KRU had their deal with Sony, which they have already announced lah. So, so it was, they could not do it because their contracts lah. Yeah, So in the end, yeah, that would be in the end we did it lah. We got Moods to rap that one lah.
If you ever do it live.
Yeah, you know, who knows?
Tiba-tiba.
Yeah, tiba-tiba lah, who knows? Yeah, you know, yeah. You know, but that's the thing, you know, always when it comes to the labels just get in the way, you know. It's like, otherwise we made this cool, you know. And he wanted to do it. We are arranging time already, scheduling sessions for like, you know, oh, which day you're free to come. It's like, okay, I'll be free this day to come.
Why do you think the label would disagree to it? Because they don't own it, or they don't have a piece of it?
I don't know, probably, you know. For whatever reasons lah.
Because it would be a highlight for your artist as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know why exactly lah. You know, yeah. I was sitting in the at an event at the same table with the A&Rs and all that, you know, and we, because they heard their album had come out, put out already hours, so they're like, okay. So they say, okay, just wait for tomorrow press conference announcement. Then they announced, they signed. They said, okay, no wonder lah.
But it was cool that he said yes to it though.
Yeah, you know.
That'd been epic. That'd been nice.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, you know, publishing and licensing, you still share it, what? So, you know, what's the big deal?
Would you do a cover album?
Why not? I wouldn't mind.
But the last cover album I remember being iconic was the at least P. Ramlee series. That EP.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Everyone had their own interpretation of P. Ramlee songs.
That's why it's called Indie Pratasi. Yeah.
Amazing naming.
Yeah. Well, I would never say never. Yeah. Yeah.
Who would you cover?
Who would I cover?
Who would JD cover?
Man, I have to think about it. I can't give you an answer right now, man.
Put you on the spot. Who you want to cover?
Who would I want to cover?
It's okay. Chill.
Dato' Siti. Let's go for the top, man.
Wow.
Aim for the top, you know. Just go for it.
That'd be cool. JD production. All acoustic.
Man, who knows, man? Yeah. What I've always wanted to do, and I don't know, I've said it before, I wanted to do this mash up covers of local hip hop tracks, but with the local hip hop acts with local bands.
Something like that Linkin Park Jay-Z thing. Ish.
Not really, but it's really take a local band, mix with and do and have them collab on
on one song.
Literally on that rapper song, a local hip hop song. Could be anything.
Oh yeah.
I've tried pushing that idea to some other people, whether they were interested to help, because I can't do it. I just need someone to coordinate and sort of curate and get these things together. But there wasn't any interest.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
From the bands and all that, or the person to help?
From the person to help lah.
Wait, I think we talked about this when I was.
It's a long time ago.
Trying to move to KL.
It was a long time ago. I know. I've had this idea for a long time already.
I think I had a list of people we could have called, we could have spoke to. Never too late. I guess.
You know. Yeah.
Pop Shavit has its own label.
We are our own label. Yeah.
Would you sign up anyone, or just focus on Pop Shavit for now?
I mean, but the thing is, we don't have the admin side to do all these things lah. Yeah, we just manage and administer our own stuff. You see.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that would be a cool idea if anybody would want to step up. I want to
Talk to
do
JD.
that. Yeah, just do take so for example, Anak Ayam.
Yes.
But have a band
covered
and then cover that.
Rework it together.
And rework it together.
Yeah, I think that's the key word though. Putting them together to work on it together.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not like, okay, this is the one, do your vocals over this. Yeah. But we sit down and work it out.
Yeah. You've now I'm gonna sidetrack a little bit, but related lah. Since I mentioned on IM and all that on hip hop. You've heard of the Port Ipoh thing? The Ipoh music symposium?
I know Asamat did a talk.
He's done it for several years already. Okay. But the most recent one was in October this year, which I managed to finally attend. I always meant to attend it.
It was like a 2-day or something.
It's over a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's free to the public.
Okay.
Right? Only the concert is paid for lah. Right? Only the concert you have to pay for the ticket. But this is cool because this is sponsored by, I mean, it is under the jurisdiction of Port, which the agency, the Perak State Agency, is called People of Remarkable Talent.
Wow.
Port, you know. And then the word port, ni saya punya port. You know? So it's something they've been doing apparently since like 2018, 2019. So every year they've had this symposium, right? Even during MCO time, you know, it was online or something like that lah. They've been doing it, and it's funded by the state government. And believe it or not, again, that was why I was wanted to find out what was Sabah and Sarawak doing, you know. Perak is now the state which is the one that's putting most money into the creative industry and arts.
Wow.
I thought that it would be KL ke or Selangor ke or Penang would be the more progressive, the more liberal states, right? Perak. Last year, right? And I think last year or late 2023, Ipoh was designated UNESCO Music City status.
Oh, yo.
Ipoh. Yeah. Because they sent their people down, you know, they went through they pitched their proposals and everything. And clearly, you know, Ipoh has got a unique musical heritage. The sound, Ipoh bands, Ipoh acts, you know, whether hip hop or rock, have an identifiable sound to it. If you can fulfill those criteria, there are several criteria. You know, you need to have the places, like the venues, the art spaces to do that. You need to have this community they need to identify all those criteria. Then you get the music city status. So Ipoh, you know.
Oh, surprising.
And under Port as well, they also are one of the very few states that have something on their own. It's a state initiative. All the grants and funding, they also have this Dana for
creative arts.
Yeah, you know. Now I want to change my address to can, well, my mum is for Perak, so can right?
At least you got in already lah. I think with Sabah, not that it's a problem, or it's just, for me, the reality of it lah. It's just we have too many languages, too many sub-ethnic groups that want representation as well. So there's no one unified voice. We're trying to a bit of a teaser. So there is a movement going on to start like our own recording association, something like a RIM, but a Sabah to focus on the business side of things. So they had one meeting with doing another one, I think in January or something, to see what we're going to focus on, what we're going to do. But yeah, I think there's just too many sub-ethnic groups.
Right, yeah.
So it's hard to have one voice appease to everybody.
Correct, yeah. I think that conversation is good to get going lah, you know. Yeah. You know, it's really due time. And then of course the latest development is they have this pro tem council for this music council, which they has announced recently. Yeah. You following that, right? Recently?
We lost track of this. Which one is this?
This was the one. There had always been the talk of establishing this music council. Before that. This was under the previous PH administration. Sorry to bring up politics, folks. All right. Okay. Yeah. But that was during Gobind Singh's tenure. That was the one which people like a lot of people there were Jen was involved, Jen Thompson was involved, you know, a lot of people were working on doing all the paperwork and laying down all the framework for that. 2 years plus of work gone down the drain. That was the one. This is the one they are trying to revive again.
Oh, nice.
They have lah. They have.
I think if you have the right industry players in it, it's gonna work out.
Yep.
I think that's the key word lah. Getting the right people in to do the right job.
So hopefully lah, you know, they better get their act together and literally get their act together, formulate this council, because it needs to be, you know, set up under legislation, right? There needs to be a bill. There needs to be a bill that needs to be passed to say, okay, we're going to set this agency up. You know, finally maybe we can have something like what Korea has, their KOCCA. You know, so finally we have one agency which can focus on the dedicated agency for the arts lah.
But it's going to be arts in general, not just music.
Yeah, I don't
because
really
it's quite
know.
a big scope though.
Correct. Unfortunately, I think this one is only music.
That's good. I mean, not as good, but at least you focus.
Yeah, eventually there needs to be one that really needs to integrate all these creative arts because they need to coordinate and integrate lah. Yeah. Again, the model is there. The South Korean model is there.
Yeah, that's an amazing model.
Yeah.
Sabah, we have associations that were formed to try and push this. But I guess I would say it's just not the right industry players involved. So you try to do something, but you actually don't know what's going on. And then...
Or some people are in it to for their...
Get the funds.
For their own, unfortunately, that's always that's how, persatuan gets a bad name lah. All the persatuan, this persatuan that becomes like a, to me, I joke and say, oh, ni skim cepat kaya, jom skim cepat kaya bersama-sama kind of thing.
Because once the grant comes in, after that, silence.
Yeah, exactly. It's happened couple of times already where, there's supposedly this persatuan
even here.
Back, I think 2016, there was this Persatuan Industry Creative Digital Malaysia, pick them.
Oh, no.
You never heard of it, right?
No.
Yeah. That was supposed to be a sort of union guild that would unite all the digital, they call it Persatuan Industry Creative Digital Malaysia. That would involve all the people who are in animation, in audio. It would involve the people in the studios. Big press conference, big launch with the Menteri, all and everything. After that, quick, crickets. Because nobody could agree on the framework or the basis of how it was going to work out.
Because there's too many heads in.
I don't know. Could be that issue lah. It never took off.
There was a meeting in, there was a study in KK. So it wasn't like a round table, but it was like a lot of round tables. It was like, I think there were 50 of us in. I kind of disagreed when they say we're parking music under IT. I was like, why? Because you need infrastructure. What infrastructure? Say the internet. Huh? I couldn't understand it. But then the other side of the people were like saying, at least they're parking us here. So it's a start off. But I'm like, I don't see. They say, digital, the YouTube, blah blah. I'm like, but the main infrastructure isn't there. The performance, the touring, the
it's a whole different thing.
The publishing, the rights,
whole different thing. Yeah, it's involve all things which are actually actual, boots on the ground work. It's not something that online.
So I was like perplexed. I was like,
I don't know lah. There are some people who just don't get it lah. Again lah, you're back to what you said lah. You need to have the right players. You need to have the right players in all those whatever panels or boards. Especially we could talk a lot more about this. But hopefully this will be interesting. Better times ahead for music as a whole, the arts.
With the younger bloods in, yes.
Yeah.
And recognizing that arts has a space as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it attracts people to the city. Arts does.
Yeah. In the meantime, right, I think Selangor is the next state that's going to start doing this because they did a town hall earlier this year. I went for it. I can, they are going to do similar plans, grants, funding. State's going to do a lot more coordination between their the various agencies and all that. So Selangor seems to be the next one to follow in the steps of what Perak has done.
Because the infrastructure is already there, right? The venues
it
and all that.
actually is there, I'm a super nerd. I always follow Rancangan Malaysia, the reports. So I actually read very deeply into that. So specifically, they did identify one of the major weaknesses is you have a lot of facilities and infrastructure, government, right? Whether it be state or federal, but very poor marketing or accessibility for
the users.
Yeah, whoever the stakeholders are lah. Okay, to use all this jargon, stakeholder. So there's very little accessibility. It's like, you got all these spaces and all that which you could use for your events or programs and whatever resources and facilities, but it's always not being
tapped in.
Yeah, tapped into. And then, then the state is like wondering, hey, why nobody here, But, there's no one talking to each other. So that's one of the things they need to improve. They identified one of the things is that, you need more creative hubs, creative spaces and all that. So one of the things that was very interesting that was brought up was that, hey, do you realize we actually, at least in Selangor, they're saying there is a surplus of commercial spaces. There are more unrented spaces and all that. So why not either the state government come in with, some kind of a scheme, where, developers or the landlords will lease out, rent out these spaces for creative arts, creative groups, creative hubs, maybe at a subsidized rate, a discounted rate or something like that. then you have all these commercial spaces, the glut or oversupply of all these spaces that's being utilized. Then win-win lah.
Yeah.
You are a property developer, you are a landlord or whatever. Your place doesn't go collecting dust and to waste. Why not? So there needs to be this kind of a coordination.
I know Kuching has a building that has done that. Developer has given a whole building to artisans to use and everything. The conversation has been there has been tries to have that conversation in KK, but it's whose door do we knock on to raise the issue?
Right.
Do we talk to the developers? Do we talk to the state government? Or do we do it?
Yeah.
And how do we get everybody to agree? Because Sabah property is so hot, so mahal.
Yeah.
But the courthouse in town, it's a very, I think, 70s building, very nice, very rustic. So the court actually moved to a new facility. So that one laid abandoned for a while. So we were hoping, maybe it's going to be for the arts or whatever. But it became another administrative building only. So sayang lah, heart of the city, even if you're like what Zhongshan is doing, where you got small artisans doing the spaces and all that.
Yeah.
So I think in Sabah we can, because we have so many properties lying around.
It's actually a Malaysia whole countrywide thing,
Yeah, I was driving around KL. I noticed a lot of abandoned, unused buildings. Not abandoned lah.
Yeah,
empty buildings.
Yeah, actually, a lot of
Well,
so there's that thing to tap into lah. Hopefully, interesting times, my friend.
Yeah, there. Yeah. 2025.
Indeed, man. Yeah.
Still doing it.
Still doing it.
I think we were both at a point we were like not sure if we're going to keep doing it.
I know, man. Yep. there times where it came close lah. To like, okay, maybe you should go some other.
Yeah. Came close. I did. I closed 2 studios. 3 lah, technically. Consider RAM. So like, it hurts, dude. Even though it's not yours, right? But just to like announce that we're no longer operating here.
Yep. Yeah.
Dude, that sucks.
Because that was so, Gotta get my ass back to KK one of these days lah. I've been saying that for so many
All
years.
the prawns are waiting for you still. When's the last time you came to KK? Can't be the era thing. No, you came down. Even no.
I can't remember exactly.
You came for holiday, did you?
No, I did not. I did come for some of the things with like a Yamaha
Juwita
workshop, then the Juwita. Yeah, it was more of a workshop conference thing at Kokol.
I think that was the last time you came.
Yeah, that was probably
what? Almost 10 years ago.
I think so. It could be exactly 2014. Could be 10 years ago. Because some of the musicians that the alumni from that thing, they're here in KL now.
Eco is here,
correct. And I just played with Eco with Juwita for a Christmas gig. That was interesting. I could talk about that. So yeah, I remember him when he was still a student back then, still like in university student, and now he's here married with kids and everything.
Oh man,
awesome. Yeah.
Yes, you need to come back. We need to. Let me see lah. We've been talking about trying to do a workshop where we bring you and maybe a few other engineers, so it's not just one voice.
Yeah.
We talk about the reality of producing. Yeah. I think the recording part, YouTube and accessibility of how to record, that's beyond the point lah. I think the producing aspect is what people don't understand about.
Correct.
Like how to make the emotion work in the song, the vocal producing and everything.
Yeah, that's something I don't think you can convey in a 60-second clip or 30-second clip. Yeah,
cannot.
You can't.
You have to sit down, talk through it.
Yeah.
Because I had to turn away. I've sent singers home where they tried to sing, but I said, it's not working today.
Yeah.
So let's save time. We've done this for half an hour. I know it's not going anywhere. So come back in the next few days.
Yep.
Yeah. Instead of forcing to finish.
Yeah.
Because I feel you hear the song, the vocals don't sit, and it's like, this wasn't emotionally in the right space.
Yeah, and that is the meat of the whole song already. That's the thing.
The mindset, man. Getting in that mode. Yeah, I miss producing. Okay, I'm known much for being a rapper, ironically, I feel. Because most of my 20 years has been mostly rock bands. So I actually enjoy mixing rock a lot more than hip-hop stuff.
Yeah.
Because hip-hop stuff, I feel, is already pre-sampled, pre-EQ. So it's just more balancing of carving out space.
Yeah.
As opposed to when it's a full drum set, you can create sculpt, and there's so much more fun to do with mixing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel, I don't know about you lah, but
Well, yeah, those two bands that you're gonna work on next year, right?
oh yeah, like fine.
That would be exciting.
I miss bands.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Yeah, cool.
I think January I've got a live band recording. It's I would say uncles. I think they're 60s. They're doing Shadow covers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's a full band. Everyone's playing at once. So we're trying a new place in Likas.
Nice.
I've already booked the studio, but I haven't I've not gone to the studio yet.
Okay.
It's just like I from what I see and hear, I think that's the only place I would do it in KK at the moment.
Right.
So yeah, if you need to do something full band, we have a spot in KK.
Cool. Yeah.
Big enough to fit everybody in.
Yeah, that would be cool to check out. Yeah.
Oh, I also noticed on your YouTube you're doing studio visits.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's always been the plan, of things that I want to do. Yeah.
Are you doing any other like Thailand or?
Oh no lah. I mean, not so far. I just want to do more of the ones around here as well. Yeah.
Do sonas, man.
Oh, okay. Well, whoever wants, I'll be contacting you all to do studio tours. Hopefully more in 2025.
Yeah, go.
It's just labor intensive, lah. That's the thing, lah. Yeah.
Bringing your own gear, doing all the B-rolls.
Exactly. Yeah.
I do not enjoy video editing. I still do not enjoy video editing. I have to do it, but like I can do 6 hours of mixing.
Yeah.
You give me an hour of video editing, and I'm like,
I feel you, man. Yes, I know. Yeah.
So how are you feeling with the whole podcasting for yourself?
No, that's actually a good keyword for myself. I'm doing all of this out of a selfish reason. It's actually more to satisfy my own curiosity. But, and to reconnect, especially with people who are friends, people who may be peers, people who may be mentors, or even that, or even some of the people I have on podcasts are like new and upcoming guys as well. I feel that, you just need to highlight more of these behind the scenes people lah. And also to... a big angle is I always focus on the career developments thing, because I think that's a very valuable resource which is you can't find, especially if you are studying this or you're trying to get into this field. It's very hard for you to, unless you really search for like interviews or biographies or read all of that.
And that's not a lot.
Yeah, even that's not a lot. And even that also you may not relate to it, because if you read about, the biography of Bruce Sweden, for example, it's like, how he got into this, the industry is like, tapi
it doesn't connect to me.
It doesn't connect to me. I can't apply that here. So it's why it's good to hear stories from all these different people that I have, or my guests. How did they do it? How did it go in? How, the challenges they faced, the twists, in their careers, how they went out of music, how they got back into music, So, at least it's, to show the possibilities that are there. That's one of the main things. So hopefully I document all this. That becomes a little, repository of stories. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, you're already at episode 40.
You will be 42.
Wow,
yeah.
That's a lot. I started off, then I only have 3 now. I haven't released another 3 more. It just came to a point, the timing lah. All this other work came in the way. I couldn't focus on it properly.
Yeah.
Then getting my time with the guests to sit down and everything.
Yeah.
Even though I had a spreadsheet, it didn't really help.
It's like that lah. I mean, there you get a lot of people who say yes, and then then you can never really coordinate the time and all that. It doesn't work out. So I just take it when it comes. It's not been super consistent anyway, but
a lot more consistent
whenever is this time,
Mine, I think I worry too much about the post-production, the editing, the clips.
Right.
I think that's where my snag is. Like I'm like, just tutup mata and go.
Yeah. That's why, I mean, I love the way my at least with this, there's very minimal editing. I don't think, I'm not going to edit any of this, man.
It's just going to
top tail and then that's it. Just the that's it. Yeah. Most of it lah. Only some I've had to edit because maybe for the flow or the vibe. Yeah. Some of it I had to edit, but most of it's like, yes.
in a way, I got lucky. When I did my sofa sessions, did Benzulu, Alex Alexandra, Arafa, Egan. Those are the 4 that went out.
Yeah.
I've been producing other podcasts. So that has taken time away from my own podcast.
Cool, yeah. Yep.
So doing a history podcast.
Yeah, that's very cool, man. Yeah.
Trying, man. But yeah, we're trying to make sure it's more engaging. So we're working on it more. A client reached out to produce their podcast. So we did 1 episode. I think February we're doing another one. And then once I head back to KK, got another meeting for another agency that wants to. So it's nice that first few I did has allowed me to do other things, but it takes away time for me to do my own podcast.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah. Even I thought of like literally stop producing and recording. Then when I put it out, like I'm gonna stop. That's when the phone calls happen to like, let's start recording again. Hey, can you record vocals? I'm like, okay, I'm not shutting down the studio. Let's do the recordings again.
Yeah, it's always like that, lah. Yeah.
Oh, I stopped using Slate.
Oh yeah, you mentioned. Yeah.
I thought I would miss it. I do a bit, but not as much as hardly as much as I thought I would.
Yeah. Like, that's always a good sign actually. In the end, yeah. The lesson I learned is that the important thing is as long as you hear what you want in your head
and you get there
and you just know what is it that you want, then actually with whatever tools you can get it there, even with stock plugins. True. Yeah.
Like I know with Slate, I can get that sound with using 3 or 4 stock plugins on Logic. It's just that extra steps to do it.
Correct. Yeah.
And then Slate just like pop. That's
exactly. And then if it doesn't make sense to still keep maintaining a subscription, then don't lie. Yeah.
I'm subscribing other visual stuff instead.
Yeah. I mean that's kind of the good thing about subscriptions. If you don't want it, then you pause
just
it.
Stop only.
Yeah. I am quite a fan of that.
I'm using Output a lot, Arcade.
Oh, okay.
I found that it works for what I do. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it. Oh, I think for career-wise, what I try to tell music students I meet in KK again is like, you can be a musician, but there are other things to do besides being a musician. So I'm in a very weird situation where I produce people, I produce bands, I have all these songs out, but I actually still cannot play a full song on my own. Like, I don't even play chords. Like, I know what an E minor is, C and all that, but you just need to pegang guitar, I cacat already. But I came from the old school way of understanding the instruments, what it does, how it's supposed to sound, or how what you can do with it, how you can bend the rules with it. So I think that helps with producing a lot, where I feel the newer generation has missed out in a way. So they're I feel a bit more rigid with what they do with producing, as opposed to maybe how we did it before. Like, there is no really one way to do something. But to understand the fundamentals of the instrument is so important, which I think guys don't get it now.
Yeah. There's certainly I would 100% agree with that. Yeah, there is value in just learning an instrument, or even if it's not it, or even if you do know an instrument, learning about other instruments. Because again, understanding your palette, it's just basically understanding your palette better, getting to know it more intimately, knowing what it can do, knowing what are the boundaries where you can stretch, where you can push the boundaries of this and that.
So I guess that's lucky where with RAM before we had a lot of outside musicians coming in, and they were very open to sharing knowledge. So I would ask any other questions with it sounding dumb or whatever. Tanya ni, and you learn so many things from musicians. So I think that now where everybody is not, it's collaborative, but you're not in the same room.
Yeah, that's one of the things I do miss about these modern production styles. Everyone's kind of siloed into their
own
little zone and all that. Then but that's the biggest thing I miss about the studios lah. It's that collaborative thing lah.
Because I always like the small mistakes make the bigger songs. Oh, what was that? Do that again. It's like that? Yeah, do that again.
Sometimes, all these happy accidents.
Yes, that's the word. Happy accidents.
Happy
accidents. I miss those happy accidents. Anyway.
All right, man. I think it's a good place we can wrap up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Mama is calling.
Oh yeah, man. I think my stomach made noise just now. Anyway, thanks for having me back here on this platform and to be face to face finally after 4 years of doing it.
Indeed.
The first episode
for the real one, right? Wings full circle.
Yeah, man.
So where can everyone reach you? Social media, IG links.
Okay, so I have Chris Can Shoot on IG. I have Decipher BKI on IG. E&E Productions on IG and TikTok as well. So hit me up anywhere. Hashtag it.
As usual lah. Everything will be down in the description. Something a little graphic will pop up with all the
links,
all the handles and all the IDs lah.
Thanks so much, dude. Anyway, thanks so much for having me and thanks for being a friend all these years.
Oh man,
solid. No. And helping me out when I wanted to try and move to KL and all that, even though I ended up going back. But, I sold my shoes and moved my things to KL, okay?
That's the commitment when a man sells his shoes.
Yes!
Not sell the house or sell the car,
sneakers,
but
sold
sell
my
the
sneakers.
All right.
Anyway,
cool,
thanks
man.
for having me, man.
Thank you very much. All right. So, see you next one. Bye-bye.